Let's head to Somalia now, where authorities say 2 people have been arrested in connection with Saturday's attack, which killed more than 300 people. According to a Somali intelligence official who spoke on condition of anonymity, one of the suspects persuaded soldiers to allow the truck that detonated explosives into Mogadishu. It's emerged that the truck was packed with 2 tons of explosives. It's also been confirmed that the explosives were made from military-grade components. Well, let's bring you more on that. We can talk now to CGTN's Abdul Aziz Bilo, who joins us live from Mogadishu. Abdul Aziz, what more can you tell us about the investigations into that terrible attack?
Well, authorities here are in the next coming hours going to give us a detailed response in regards to that attack. Investigations were underway for the past couple of days after the militant, the terrorist attack rather on the Kilometer 5 junction here, the most busiest in downtown Mogadishu. That information will be revealed to journalists in the coming hours, according to the National Emergency Operations Center, where journalists are headed there right now, where we are expecting a full detailed report as exactly what transpired on that day and what led to that security lapse that caused the deadliest attack here on Somali soil for the first time since a militant insurgency 10 years ago. Now here on the ground, the investigation so far is 2 people are in prison in regards to that incident. They are being investigated after a second minivan was captured laden with explosive devices. It's not clear where the target was, but according to intelligence reports here on the ground suggest that either of 2. One, the target was headed towards the African Union base that is also adjacent to the Mogadishu International Airport, or the attack targeted the biggest Turkish military post here in Somalia that was opened in September. So those information are still unverified as of yet. But one thing that intelligence forces here agree is that the attack was carried out by Al-Shabaab and the truck was filled with explosive devices not very far from Mogadishu, but from rural areas that are within the capital Mogadishu, near Afgoye, especially in areas called Barire, where government forces have lately come under a deadly attack there from the militant group Al-Shabaab. So for now, we are keeping tabs on this and we are waiting official results from the police in the coming hours.
And Abdul Aziz, I'd like to ask you about the massive public outrage to that attack on Saturday. How have people been showing their solidarity?
Well, it's one attack that has for once in very many years brought Somalis together on the streets of the capital. The President, the Prime Minister and the Mayor of Mogadishu called for massive demonstrations in reaction to the attack here in Somalia that killed more than 300 people and injured more than 400 others. Most of the serious cases have been airlifted by Somalia's international partners, especially countries like Turkey and Djibouti, that is neighboring to Somalia, sent in medical doctors. Also countries like Kenya airlifted some of the wounded cases, as well as Qatar, to their respective countries for specialized treatment. Now here on the ground here, massive support, volunteer work, university students, school-going children, they've all refused to go back to school. They've all joined in the march here on the ground, wearing red ribbons as a sign of solidarity with the lives that were lost on Saturday, 14th October here. Now, the exact location where the bomber detonated the truck is called KM5, also known as Zobe here. It's the most busiest junction, and the Mayor of Mogadishu has advocated that street should be renamed to 14th October to commemorate that day when 300 lives were lost. So the reaction here on the ground has been so commendable here. Authorities here yesterday at the biggest stadium here in Mogadishu launched the biggest anti-Al-Shabaab demonstration ever to rock the capital of Mogadishu, where the President also toured the whole stadium and addressed the public for the first time, calling on the public support to fight Al-Shabaab, saying that the only way that the enemy of Somalia, that he termed is Al-Shabaab, can only be eradicated is through public support. And that's the message that Somali authorities are pushing, that this should be done. And also a blood donation exercise all across the country. The demonstration were not just in Mogadishu, but all across major Somali capitals, as well as in Somali regions anywhere across the world.
Okay, Abdulaziz Bilo there in Mogadishu. Thank you very much for that update.